morning. Good morning. Welcome to Stacy's Closet. I hope everyone knows that if you're here, that means you're here on purpose, which means you have purpose. Now, first, let's get into, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I have on. I have on a jumpsuit. It is a jumpsuit. It is black. And then I have this cover-up wrap. Now, you don't have to wear the wrap. You can actually wear the jumpsuit by itself. It just happens to have no sleeves. So, again, it's probably more without the jacket. If you wanted to wear it without the jacket, you would probably do better in the summertime because it has no sleeves on it. And this is the shoe that I have. This is the shoe that I am rocking with this. This is the shoe. Now, ladies, you know what this is. This keep your foot from sliding all the way to the front. If you don't know what it is, you probably need to go get you some to keep your feet from sliding over so they ain't hanging off that heel. I've seen some folk, you don't want that. So put that stopper in there, okay, ladies? Now, I got the jumpsuit from Cato's. And the jacket came, it was a gift from my sister, Kina. However, the jacket did come from Shein.com. I'm going to put all that in the description. The necklace set and the jumpsuit both came from Cato's, okay? My shoes came from Shoe Show. I love them. I love them. I love them. Now, my nails, you know, are done by Kina at lgirlznails Nails. All of this information will be in the description. And as you know, you guys, I am preparing for my beloved, the city of David. Y'all know that is my people. That is my home. I love it. I love it. I love it. If you're in Gastonia area, please go by. It is 2500 Crescent Lane. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. Now, if you're like me and you're unable to be in Gastonia, then join them on Facebook Live. Again, that is the city of David. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. Now, let's get into what our topic is going to be this morning. Now, y'all don't mind. Y'all know I got to have something to drink, especially when I feel like I'm about to spill some tea. So I'm spilling my own tea. Excuse me so much. Now, last week we talked about change. Now this week, because I've had some difficulty with change, right? Because I had to leave my daughter and my grandsons. They're still in Gastonia. So this has not been easy for me. This change has not been that easy as I thought it was going to be. Because I miss my people. I do. I miss them, right? And so it hasn't been that easy, right? Now, but guess what? In order for you to get to success, in order for you to get to the change that is necessary, that is going to propel you into success, you've got to have change. And that means you've got to feel uncomfortable, okay? So today we're going to talk about being uncomfortable. Now, when you first get a new pair, ladies, y'all know, you get a pair of heels, right? You get a pair of heels and you want to break those things in. They hurt. They're hurting. So you spend the day trying to get that thing worked out. Sometimes at the end of the day, they're good to go. You're ready. You was uncomfortable, but you got them broken into. So you got comfortable. You succeeded in mastering that shoe, right? And then sometimes by the end of the day, your foot is hurting worse. That's because you're trying to fit your foot in a place where you're not supposed to be. So it's never going to be comfortable because you weren't supposed to be there. That goes for that's friendships, that's relationships, that is jobs, that is areas where it doesn't matter. If you are somewhere where you're not supposed to be, you are out of, y'all know this is a churchy alert. If you're out of the will of God and where God is wanting you to go, then guess what? You're never going to get comfortable. By the end of the day, your foot is still going to be hurting. And in some situations, your foot can even be swollen. And guess what? That's the hurt. That swollenness is the hurt that has been brought about because you was in an area or you was in a place you weren't supposed to be. So your foot never did fit. It never got comfortable. So you can be with a person and you're sitting up here trying to force this thing, and because it didn't fit, right? That shoe didn't fit. You end up with corns on your feet, blisters on your feet, honey, your feet walking around looking like popcorn because you don't put your foot into somewhere where it did not fit. You were not supposed to be in that shoe. So you were not supposed to be there in that area. So your foot never did fit, right? So you're never going to be comfortable because you're out of order. Now, if you get uncomfortable and it is where you're supposed to be, guess what? You'll wear that shoe out. You will get it just so it fits your foot. New Balance has this thing where they you go and you sit down and they fit your insole. So they will fit that shoe. They will custom make it to fit your foot, right? It's custom made. It fits your foot like a perfect glove. That is when God begins to open up doors, right? So when God opens up doors, guess what happens? You're a perfect fit. You fit right in. You go right into there. It might be uncomfortable for a moment, but guess what? You'll smooth that thing out. Your foot will begin to fit and it'll match up with that insole. And guess what? By the end of the day, you done work that thing out. That shoe is now perfect for your foot. Cinderella, get your other shoe, baby. Your foot is perfect for that fit. Now, because you were uncomfortable earlier, you thought maybe I wasn't supposed to be here. Nothing that is worth having is going to be easy. You got to work for that thing. However, when you work for it, guess what will happen? You'll begin to see the change. You'll begin to see the success of all your work. That's like when farmers go out and they till the ground and they put that seed in. When harvest time comes, guess what? They're going to have corn. They're going to have overflow. They're going to have plenty. Because guess what? They worked and now they're reaping what they have worked for. So again, you went through that little uncomfortable phase and now at the end of the day, that shoe is fitting you. Now you feel like you can dance. Okay, come on now. You feel like you can do that thing. Well, rock that thing out. But you had to go through a period of uncomfortable. You had to go through a period that you just wasn't comfortable. Have you ever been around people, you walk into an atmosphere and you feel uncomfortable? Now, everybody ain't like me. I can walk into a place and I might feel uncomfortable for a little while. But before long, guess what? I'm going to go around. hey, I'm Stacy. How you doing? I'm going to go around. I'm going to meet some people. I'm going to try to get comfortable. I'm going to try to at least get to, you get to mingle and you get a little bit more comfortable. So by the end of the day, I'm comfortable. By the end of the day, what started out as an uncomfortable period, now it's comfortable. Now, some of y'all are like, oh, that's not me. I'm not a people person like that. Well, guess what, sweetheart? Neither am I. But I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Not so much a secret, but I'm going to tell you this. So I grew up in foster care. And when you grow up in foster care, a lot of times you move around to all these different homes, right? So I moved around to all these different places. And so I was usually always the new kid on the block, right? So, I had to make some adjustments. I wasn't comfortable. When I first started out, I wasn't real comfortable. I wasn't good at mingling. And so I was always, I started walking around with my head down. I got, a little depressed. I was very unhappy. I had no friends. I didn't know these people. And so I felt uncomfortable, right? Now, it was a building period for me because I felt uncomfortable and I didn't like that feeling. So then I said, okay, maybe if I say hello, maybe if I speak to these people, it'll make it a little easier for me to navigate around, right? It'll make it a little easier for me to get to know people. So what I did was I started introducing myself. I remember being in the 8th grade. I was in Thomasville, Thomasville, North Carolina. Shout out to the Bulldogs. But I was out there and I remember being out there and I was not comfortable at all. I wasn't comfortable in the skin I was in. I wasn't comfortable with anything, right? The only person that I was comfortable with was my brother. And of course my sister, but my sister didn't go to that same school. My brother, however, did. So me and him are in the same school, and I was feeling very uncomfortable. The only person that I felt comfortable with was with my brother. So whenever I seen my brother in a hallway, we would walk to our next class, and that's who I would talk to, right? So after a while, that gets old. So then I said, maybe if I start introducing myself. So I did. I started introducing myself. Hey, I'm Stacy. How you doing? Before long, I knew all these people. Okay. I didn't know. Don't ask me how, but I knew all these people, right? And I'm speaking to everybody. Then I began to start feeling comfortable. So then I didn't mind going to school because I felt comfortable there because I knew everybody. And then as the years went by, that's what I started doing. I would introduce myself, whatever school I was at, I was introducing myself. Shortly after the Thomasville, I went to Winston-Salem, and I'm introducing myself, and I'm meeting people, over there. I went to several different high schools, Mount Tabor, Glenn, North Forsyth. Yeah. So I just started going to all these schools. Now, then I realized, wait a minute. I not only did I know quite a bit of people that I didn't know knew my name. So then guess what? I started walking down the hall, and I started in my head, I'm like, a party ain't a party till I come through, right? So I'm gonna make this it started out uncomfortable, but I made it a comfortable zone for me. I carved out a comfortable zone. And in that comfort, what I realized is I had to come out of my shell. I had to make some changes. I had to come out of my shell, and I had to start meeting some people. And when I say that, that's like this shoe, right? I know that my foot is going to slide to the front, but I had to put this insert in, right, to keep my foot from sliding. I had to make some adjustments to make sure that I fit. I had to make some adjustments, and that adjustment was I had to come out of my shell. I had to start speaking to people. I was not comfortable in that area. However, I had to get comfortable in order to fit the shoe. Right? I had to maneuver. I had to make some changes so that I could fit the shoe. So by the end of the day, the shoe I fit that shoe perfectly. And then guess what? Because I fit that shoe, then I was able to now go and navigate and create and get some more shoes. So I was able to put myself in situations or in places, again, that I fit a little bit more. I had to get out of my comfort zone, I left, and I went to, I'm not even going to call the name of the company, but, as times go by, I ended up, I was working at a telemarketing job in customer service. It wasn't really telemarketing. It was actually customer service. I did work at telemarketing before. And let me just say this. I had to, again, get out of your comfort zone. People say, well, that's easy because you're on the phone. It did make it easier. However, it made me be a little bit bolder. I'm gonna sell you this thing. I want you to buy it. That's how I made my money. So I had to, really sell that thing. And so that's what I did. I had to get out of my comfort zone. When I first started that job, the telemarketing job, I'm like, I don't sell nothing, honey. If people say no, they say no. I'm gonna keep it moving. Now I had to come out of that comfort zone, and I had to, force myself. So when I started off, that shoe was real tight. Oh, honey, it was real tight. That shoe did not loosen up until probably about 2 weeks after wearing that shoe did it finally loosen up, and I found my comfort zone. And then I found my stride, and I was able to work that thing, and I began to actually make money off of that, and I was good at that. So then I decided, okay, let's go a little bit further. Now that I feel like I've conquered the telemarketing thing, then I went and I started doing customer service, and the people would call in, and I'm doing that thing, and I was doing that thing, right? It was uncomfortable at first, but baby, by the end of that day, I had found my stride. I was comfortable. I was walking in that thing. Same way with here. I moved to Fayetteville, and last week I told you we had to make a change. Last week I told you about change. So I realized something. When coming to Fayetteville, I had on a tight grip shoe. It was gripping me up. And I was crying because it wasn't easy. I left everything that I felt like I knew and I was comfortable with. I left my daughter and my two grandsons, and I adore them. And I truly, those are my babies, right? So even though, honey, if you know me, y'all know that little girl of mine, she get on my nerves. That's my baby though. That's my little girl. No matter how old she is, that is my little girl. So I left that, right? And I put on this shoe that even though I knew that that's where my steps were being ordered, even though I knew that I had to make this change that was going to propel me to success, I had to get uncomfortable. So guess what? It has not been easy. That shoe has been real tight. I've cried several times this past week. I was, got down and just, saw pictures on Facebook and started crying. Again, that shoe has been real tight. But guess what? That shoe has began to loosen. I'm feeling a little bit better in my area. And guess what? I believe with everything in me, it will not be long now before not only am I wearing that shoe in comfort, I am going to upgrade to another shoe and I'm going to keep on working that thing. So again, I'm telling you, if you're in a situation, get uncomfortable. You got to be uncomfortable. That's just like if you've been in a marriage for 20 something years, right? You're now out of that marriage, right? It's uncomfortable. This period in your life, it's uncomfortable because you don't really know what to do with yourself. You're uncomfortable. You have been a wife and a mother for so long. You don't know where to go. You don't know what to do. I'm telling you, this period of being uncomfortable, if you began to wear it, right? Wear the shoe. Stop trying to run from the shoe. Embrace the fact that, guess what? I'm single. Being single does not mean you're alone or lonely. Find you a life outside of being a mother and being a wife. Find out who you are and what you like to do. And go out and work that thing. Put on you some right kind of shoes and go out and till your ground. And if you till your ground and you begin to plant that seed, I'm telling you, you will see harvest. You have got to listen. You've got to get uncomfortable for you to get to success. You've got to get uncomfortable for you to get to what God has for you. You've got to get uncomfortable to get to a place to where you are content and you are steadfast and you are unmovable. And now you're wearing that shoe. And guess what? Before long, baby, you'll be wearing that crown again. You're going to be queen again. Okay? You got to go through some things. You might have to go through some things. You might have to go through some nights that you cry. This is for men too. If that's all you knew was being a husband, being a father, and now you look up, your kids are grown, your wife is gone, and you trying to figure out what to do with yourself. Find yourself a life. I ain't say find yourself another woman. You get ready for another woman, but you wait on that. This for men and women. Sometimes we find comfort in a man or a woman, but the truth is that's only temporary comfort. You're going to mess around. You're going to have corns on your feet. Okay, hear what I tell you. You're going to have corns on your feet. Don't go out here rushing to find somebody to replace your husband or your wife. You better listen. Embrace that single life. Find out who you are. Find out what you like again. You remember there's a part on Coming to America. And the lady says, and Eddie Murphy asked her, he says, what do you like? She says, whatever you like. And so basically what she was saying was, I don't have an identity. My identity is wrapped up in whatever you want. And sometimes in some marriages, you've been married for so long, your identity is wrapped up in that person. So you're not sure what you do like and what you don't like. I'm telling you, go out and explore and figure out what you like. Go and enjoy life. Again, being single does not mean you are alone or lonely. Embrace this time. Embrace the time with yourself, getting to know you. and getting to know what you like and what you don't like. Maybe you don't like no big old fat woman, and and again, so guess what? Figure out what you do like. Women, maybe you don't like a big old man that snores all night long. Find out what you do like. But again, wear those shoes. I'm telling you, wear them. And by the end of the day, you will have broken them in and you will find comfort. You have to be uncomfortable. You have to be uncomfortable for a period. And then, but I'm telling you, if you trust the process, if you work the process, you will find comfort at the end of the day. Now, if you have worn that shoe, you've done everything to make that shoe work and it still ain't fitting and it's still hurting, that's you trying to squeeze your foot in a shoe that ain't meant for you. Okay? That means it's time to get out of that situation. I don't care if it's if it's a relationship, it's a marriage, it's a job, whatever it is. If you have done everything that you know to do and you can't break that thing in, that is you trying to fit somewhere you ain't supposed to be. Now again, as you all know, if you're here, that means God gave you two things today. He gave you a choice and a chance. So I'm telling you, go out and take a chance on your life. Get uncomfortable to get to comfortable, okay? Choose you. Choose to live and walk that thing out, and guess what? And make that shoe work, and honey, it will begin to fit. It will fit. Your foot will fit. You know that song said, walk it out. Okay, walk it out until that shoe fit. You understand what I'm saying? Ride this thing till the wheels fall off, because guess what? You're not here but a moment. Don't waste your moment on foolishness. Do not waste your moment on being uncomfortable in situations that you weren't supposed to be in. Don't waste your moment. Go out and live your moment, okay? And until next time, this is Stacy's Closet telling you that I love you, I love you, I love you, and there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. Now, before I sign off, I do want to tell you this. I am still reading my book, Americant. I want you to go out, and all of this information is going to be in the description. I want you to go out and get you a copy of that book. I'm telling you, you will truly enjoy it. It is a good read. I am still reading it. And again, I'd probably have finished it by now, except for the fact that I also have to still work. Right? But again, that will be in the description. My nails, my clothing, my earring set, all of that will be in the description. And again, y'all know I'm going to the city. Well, I'll see them on Facebook Live. I'm still going to enjoy the city of David. And until next time, I love you, and there is absolutely nothing you can do about it.